This is the COODY KOALA hub shelter. If you watched my unboxing video, you already know this is a 12 by 12 tent capable of being expanded and connected to up to 4 COODY KOALA tents. What I want to talk about today, though, specifically is this tent individually and how big it is. And let me just say, this is an awesome tent. I've had it set up in my backyard now for almost a week, testing it and learning what I can do to modify and upgrade it to meet my own needs. We'll talk about some of those things in another video, but right now I want to take you in and show you how big it is. So looking inside from right outside the door, you can see it is a pretty enormous space in here. Remember, this is 12 by 12. We have 7-foot doors here and a 9-foot peak in the middle. This is a king-size inflatable bed. This table is 2 by 3 feet. The rug itself is a 12-foot square. We've got 2 giant folding camp chairs over here that I got at Sam's Club. They are heavy duty. We've got a footrest for each of those. We've got a table back here, and we have the Caminus M medium wood burning stove over here. Now, I do not have that set up for the moment. If we take that stove out, you can see how much of an area that opens up there. We've got at least 4 feet from here all the way across the bottom. So if you're not using that stove, it opens up so much bigger. Now, before we set up the stove, I do want to point out the placing of the stove jack. It's placed very high on the ceiling, which brings the placement of the stove to right here. That is pretty far out from the walls, both on that side, this side, and the corner. And I guess I can understand that, because if you look at the options of where they could have put the stove jack, there aren't many. Now, you could argue that they could have put it right here. However, the placement of the stove pipe with the front door means that that door would be snuggled in the corner there, and you couldn't even get to it. Now, before you give up just based on that, I do have a solution, but you can see how much space that does take up. It steals a lot of valuable space from the tent. The other issue with that is that if you have 2 chairs over there like I do, you need to be using the heat deflector on the side to keep it from getting your chair or the person in it too hot. Now, my solution to this is that I have ordered 2 45-degree angle stovepipes to connect to those, which will allow me to back that thing up closer to the corner, opening back up all that space there, and still allow us full use of our wood stove, rerouting the pipe up this way along the roof and then up through the stove jack in the ceiling. There's a heat deflector built in on the back here, so that'll protect anything that it might be too close to there otherwise. These 2 sides are perfectly far enough away you don't need the heat deflectors, but if you want them on there, if it makes you feel safer, you can put them both on. But rerouting that stove pipe makes this area so much more practical when you're using the stove. So much more space up here in the front, especially right here, where it otherwise would be snugged right up against your chair. So there you go, guys. COODY KOALA hub tent, 12 by 12 by 9-foot peak. Make sure you watch my full unboxing and setup of this tent. It answers a lot of questions you may be having. And make sure you watch my most recent backyard camping adventure. We got everything lit up. We got the hot tub going and everything.